First up, the streets are alive with passion. We've got pro-Palestinian and anti-ICE protesters making their voices heard along Santa Barbara's waterfront on the International Day of Peace. Hear their powerful message and the raw emotion behind the chants. Next, we jet over to Incheon, where the APEC summit brought leaders together not just for policy talks, but for a vibrant cultural exchange. Discover how the University of Utah Asia campus students bridged worlds through tradition and human connection. Then, we're heading into the digital frontier with a critical look at how the International Criminal Court plans to tackle tech-enabled crimes. The F is weighing in, urging that human rights must be at the core of prosecuting cyber warfare and digital atrocities. And finally, a surprising twist in local politics. The City Commission is debating the designation of International City of Peace in Mount Pleasant. What started as a move for goodwill has sparked a heated debate among commissioners. All that and more, right here on Legends Nexus. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Protesters demand peace amidst global conflict. The International Day of Peace saw a powerful demonstration in Santa Barbara, where around 100 pro-Palestinian and anti-ICE protesters gathered along the waterfront. Braving the beautiful weather, they aimed to draw attention to the ongoing conflict and suffering in Gaza. Bassem Wahab, a Palestinian American, shared a harrowing account, stating, "The pain and suffering of people currently living in Gaza is beyond our human comprehension." He described witnessing daily videos of children enduring amputations without anesthesia and starving to death, highlighting the extreme agony faced by civilians. This demonstration occurred during a pivotal week for international relations, with Rosh Hashanah beginning and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu scheduled to address the United Nations and meet with President Donald Trump. The geopolitical tensions were palpable. The protest also coincided with several nations, including the UK, Canada, and France, extending official diplomatic recognition to Palestine. These moves reflect a growing international response to Netanyahu's relentless bombardment of Gaza and his refusal to call for a ceasefire. Meanwhile, tens of thousands protested Netanyahu's war without end in Tel Aviv, demanding the return of hostages. Despite mounting international scrutiny, including a UN commission concluding Israel's conduct may qualify as genocide, the United States under Trump remains a staunch ally. Audience impact. Social media buzzed with reactions, with supporters praising the protesters' courage and critics decrying the disruption. Many expressed deep empathy for the civilians suffering in Gaza, while others questioned the timing and specific targets of the protest. Stay tuned, because the world of international relations is always buzzing with more than just protests. Next, we're exploring how cultural diplomacy is shaping global dialogues at the APEC summit. APEC Summit fosters cultural diplomacy in Incheon. This summer, the vibrant city of Incheon served as the global stage for the 2025 APEC meetings, welcoming over 5,800 participants from 21 member economies. While ministers and high-level officials delved into critical issues like digital transformation, AI, food security, and women's economic empowerment at Songdo Convencia, a unique cultural dialogue unfolded, emphasizing human connection. On August 9th and 13th, the city of Incheon, in collaboration with Korea's national masters, artisans dedicated to preserving intangible cultural heritage, hosted a special traditional cultural program at Daryuan in Michuhal Park. The event commenced with Gongsu and Barai, a Korean greeting embodying respect and sincerity, setting a warm and engaging tone. Attendees were immersed in traditional Korean culture, experiencing activities that fostered a deeper understanding and appreciation beyond formal policy discussions. One participant shared, "This was my first time experiencing something like this. From the moment we stepped into Daryuan, we were warmly welcomed. It was truly meaningful, an exchange beyond words." These high-profile cultural events were significantly supported by student volunteers from the University of Utah Asia Campus External Relations Office. Serving as interpreters, assistants, and cultural guides, these students played a crucial role in facilitating meaningful interactions between delegates and the local culture. They transformed simple translation into genuine human connection, acting as invaluable cultural ambassadors who exemplified how diplomacy can flourish in more personal and human-centered ways. For the University of Utah Asia campus, this initiative perfectly aligned with its mission as a global institution, building bridges between Korea and the world, tradition and modernity, and students and global leaders. This experience at APEC highlighted that diplomacy isn't confined to conference halls. It can blossom over tea, within the elegance of a hanbok, or through shared creative endeavors. Audience impact. Delegates shared overwhelmingly positive feedback on social media, praising the cultural immersion and the role of the student volunteers. The University of Utah Asia campus highlighted the event as a prime example of its global engagement strategy, garnering praise from educational and diplomatic circles. But while some are building bridges, others are navigating the complex landscape of digital conflict. Next, we're examining how the International Criminal Court is preparing to tackle cyber-enabled crimes. Human rights at the forefront of cybercrime prosecutions. As human rights atrocities increasingly unfold in the digital age, the International Criminal Court, ICC Office of the Prosecutor, OTP, is developing a policy to address cyber-enabled crimes. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, EF, alongside partner Derechos Digitals, has submitted comments to the OTP's draft policy, emphasizing that safeguarding human rights must be integral to these investigations. The goal is to ensure that perpetrators of genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity, who increasingly use technology, face justice while protecting survivors and preventing overreach. The ICC, established by the Rome Statute, has jurisdiction over 4 core crimes: genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and the crime of aggression. The OTP is responsible for investigating and prosecuting these crimes. Its draft policy outlines how it will apply the statute to crimes committed or facilitated by digital means, clarifying that ordinary cybercrimes like hacking and fraud remain the domain of national courts. A cyber-enabled crime is defined as a crime within the ICC's jurisdiction that is committed or facilitated by technology. This includes scenarios where malware disables a hospital, causing injury or death, or where digital surveillance is used to persecute an ethnic group as part of a systematic attack against civilians. The OTP intends to use its full investigative powers, relying on national authorities and private entities for digital evidence. But the F stresses that these investigative practices must align with international human rights standards, particularly concerning privacy and the rule of law. Digital conduct, even when not entirely online, can serve as crucial evidence. Online activity can reveal intent, context, policies behind abuses, and efforts to hide crimes. The F argues that the prosecution of such crimes and the use of related evidence must uphold internationally recognized human rights, including privacy and freedom of expression, rights essential for documenting and sharing evidence of abuses. In Part II of their series, the F will delve deeper into the policy's strengths and offer recommendations for improvement. Audience impact. Human rights advocates and cybersecurity experts have lauded the F stance, emphasizing the critical need for privacy protections in international investigations. Discussions online highlight the delicate balance between prosecuting digital crimes and upholding fundamental freedoms. From the global stage of digital justice, we now turn to a more local debate about peace. Next, we uncover the surprising controversy surrounding Mount Pleasant's International City of Peace designation. City Commission debates International City of Peace designation. Mount Pleasant's recent discussion regarding a proclamation recognizing it as an International City of Peace has ignited a debate among city commissioners, revealing confusion and concern over the process. Unlike the politically charged Sanctuary City designation, joining the Cities of Peace 501, C3 organization is intended to foster goodwill and friendship within communities. Mount Pleasant has already joined this global network, which includes cities like Midland and Detroit. However, some commissioners felt blindsided by the proclamation. Commissioner Mary Alsager expressed concern that the designation was not properly discussed, stating, "My issue with the proclamation is that there's 10 criteria to being a city of peace, and I was expecting to have our usual proclamation of having a day of peace." Commissioner Amy Perschbacher echoed these sentiments, noting that the topic was only mentioned in announcements and not brought back for formal commission review. She questioned how the city fits the criteria and emphasized the need for collective decision-making, stating, "There are 7 of us on this commission, and we should all have been on that process. I just want to make sure we are all equal on this board." The organization's criteria for a city of peace are based on an academic paper and serve as guidelines rather than strict requirements, with the understanding that cities are on a path toward peacefulness. Commissioner Ryan Skalitsky acknowledged the controversy, apologizing for any confusion caused, particularly regarding statements made about the Immigrant Trust Act. He emphasized pride in the community's diversity and mutual support, suggesting that in divisive times, these qualities should be celebrated. The debate highlights the differing perspectives within the Commission on how such designations should be pursued and communicated, underscoring the importance of transparency and shared governance in local decision-making. Audience impact. Residents have taken to local forums and social media to voice their opinions, with some supporting the peace initiative and others agreeing with the Commissioner's concerns about transparency. The debate has sparked broader conversations about civic engagement and the meaning of peace in diverse communities. And that wraps up our deep dives for today. But before you go, let's hit the highlights one last time. Wow, what a whirlwind of news. We saw pro-Palestinian and anti-ICE protesters making powerful statements on the International Day of Peace in Santa Barbara. Then, we journeyed to Incheon for the APEC summit, highlighting a beautiful cultural exchange facilitated by University of Utah Asia campus students. We also explored the crucial intersection of human rights and tech-enabled crimes with the ICC and EF's policy discussions. And finally, we uncovered the local political debate surrounding Mount Pleasant's International City of Peace designation. What a show! Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this broadcast, subscribe to Legends Nexus for more incredible updates, ring that notification bell so you never miss a video, drop a comment below telling us your thoughts on today's stories, and follow us on all our social media platforms. We'll see you next time.